Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Dan Flannery, who's the Senior Vice President and Managing Director of Edition Luxury Boutique Hotels, which he is here to talk to us about and their future on ITR, Insider Travel Report. Okay, Dan, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So has it changed much from busing and waiting tables, managing so many hotels?
It sure has. There was a few stops in along the way, but I went from kind of worked my way up from becoming a general manager. Worked for Ritz-Carlton for a good 7 or 8 years before I got tapped to start Edition with Ian. So
11 hotels. Did they close? Did they open? What was their status? Let's talk about that and work our way up.
We had several that closed and a few that never did, that stayed open. Miami was kind of back and forth. Some of our international hotels, Abu Dhabi, Sanya, China, Shanghai stayed open, Bodrum, Turkey stayed open. It was really the big urban markets, the two in New York, London, and Barcelona that have really stayed closed the longest here. We're hopeful that in the next couple of months we'll get those back online.
Now, to bring up new hotels, it takes a while. It has to be in the pipeline for a while. So this isn't something that you decided to do during the pandemic. This was in the planning stages already, correct?
No, yeah. Most of them, they kind of plan a 3-year timeline. Most of them take 4 or longer. And so we're really reaping the benefits now of the work that Ian and Arnie Sorensen did back in 2010 and 11 to sign and open Miami, London, and New York. Once those took off, and then we opened, one a year between each of those years, 13, 14, 15. We opened Sanya in 16, then nothing in 2017 as the pipeline was growing. We were building hotels, and then we opened 5 of them in 5 different countries in 2018 and into early 2019. So it really started to explode, and it's we're continuing to see that momentum now.
We were talking about in October, Insider Travel Report reported on Tokyo, and then you're going to open another one there.
We are, yes, with the same owners, Mori Trust. So we opened in Toronto. The original plan was to open in May before the Olympics. And then the Olympics got delayed. A lot of our furniture orders that were coming from outside the country got delayed. So it was a few months behind, but we did open in October. I think we'll open Ginza hopefully by the end of next year also.
What's it been like having to navigate this? How have the hotels adapted? And I'm assuming those adaptations then proceed into the new hotels.
Different by different markets that you're in, right? So
help explain.
The most important skill now, I think, if you're a general manager, is to be nimble and to be able to react quickly, because there's just no playbook on this. There's no history for how to deal with this. We've had hotels, the resorts, particularly Bodrum and Sanya, that will never have a better year than they've had this year. Because the dynamics are different, the borders are closed were closed in those countries. Sanya did 2.5 times their budgeted operating profit last year. So, their challenge was they couldn't keep up with the amount of business that they had in the resort. And Bodrum, same thing, record year in Bodrum. Miami.
And that's because what were the rules in that area that made that conducive?
Yeah, so in both cases, it was, Turkey changed through the course of their summer season in Bodrum, but in both cases, the borders were closed for outbound travel. And so in China, you have the whole, Chinese population that can't leave the country, but are like us working from home. And if, you had some level of affluence, then they were looking for resorts inside of China. So strange dynamics that you don't hear a lot of. You hear a lot of the bad news. You don't hear a lot of those stories that would have arisen.
Right. That's great.
Miami was interesting because we closed it down briefly, made a decision to reopen it. It started to take off pretty well in June and July. Then all of a sudden, the case numbers started to spike in Dade County. Occupancy dropped. We laid off a bunch of people again. Now it's back.
That is literally when my partner got COVID in Florida.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It was terrible. So, but now it's up over 60% occupancy again, and it's busy. And so the teams have had to react to big swings both ways. The ones that are closed are really just a function of looking at those markets and again, the big cities and deciding when occupancy will hit a threshold that it makes sense to reopen.
Is it generally the same protocols within, though, throughout between each country? Is it still wear the mask, social distancing? Are there any differences other than that?
Yeah, the big differences are that affect business are whether borders are open or closed, whether they allow indoor dining or don't allow indoor dining. Even if they do, New York's at 25% capacity now. Some other cities are 50%. Some other cities are unlimited. We have hotels that do a little bit more group business. We're lucky we're not as reliant on groups, so it's not going to hurt us. But that business is not coming back anytime soon. In markets where we reopened restaurants, we've seen restaurants do very well. So people are, went for many months. My friends and my wife and I are the same way. That once we could go out and eat again, we were dying to go out and celebrate and just go back to our lives. So. Those things have been different in every market that we operate.
So upcoming, let's talk about the new hotels, please.
Yeah, so we will open, starting next summer, we'll open in Reykjavik, Iceland, which will be, really an interesting market. We get more requests for that. The amount of people that leisure travelers that want to go there and group business that are looking for a new destination.
I've been there. Where exactly is the location?
It is right in Reykjavik, right next to the Harpa Center, right there on the water. So great location, beautiful hotel. We have a great restaurant partner there. We haven't announced him yet, but he'll do very well there. And good team. So we'll get that open this summer. Then we will open some order Ginza in Tokyo, Rome, and Madrid. And then I think going into, towards the end of the year, Dubai, and then early 22 will be Tampa, and then Riviera Maya at Kenai.
What is it? What's the secret sauce? What is it, the essence that makes an Edition hotel an Edition hotel? Because they're not all the same, but what makes them the same?
It's interesting. I mean, one of the things I admire about what he does is that he can take new builds and make them really interesting and, great product that flows well and is a good idea and tells an interesting story and it has all the right features. Oftentimes, in my experience, the ones that we do in historic buildings, like if you're familiar with the Clock Tower building in New York, or the Burness Hotel in London, or the Seville that we did in Miami, oftentimes those historic buildings and those renovations can be much more difficult and complex to figure out, but they can have a lot more character and charm when they do them. And so we have a combination of both of those. Both Madrid and Rome will be historic renovations, and I think the others will be new builds.
Our travel advisors are looking to sell, and they are very interested in luxury. And so we need to help them position it. What would you tell them on how to sell Edition as opposed to another luxury brand?
Yeah, well, we're trying to do two things. We're trying to certainly be luxury. And in that regard, we need to have product requirements and amenities and service levels that will appeal to the top end luxury guests and drive luxury rates on the hotel side. But we're also trying to be lifestyle, and that's different. There's not too many lifestyle hotels that can say they're luxury and vice versa. And on the lifestyle side, that is right up Ian Schrager's alley. And he focuses a lot on product distinction and creating an environment that, as he says, very aspirational. He says, lifts people's spirits and makes your spirits soar through all of the things that drive that in the space that he does. Certainly the design and architecture, but lighting, landscaping, sound design, scent, uniforms, music programming, staff, just all those things that come together. Funny quick story from Tokyo's opening. Ian was running the press conference for that hotel virtually with the owner because, we couldn't get into the country. And so after the press conference, we'd normally conduct tours of the hotel. And so we couldn't join those either. And we got a note back from the owner after the press tours and an email, and she was thrilled because she said that when they walked into this one space called the Jade Room, it's a restaurant that we're doing with Tom Akins there, she said that the press she said you could just audibly hear gasps from the press, that kind of reaction. And then she said when they walked into the Gold Bar on street level, she said they just broke out into spontaneous applause. And so when he says, I'm trying to create something enchanting that will move people and lift their spirits, that's the reaction he's getting. He doesn't just want the Instagram moment that this is where everybody's going to take the picture. It's really that kind of objective in the guest rooms and the public spaces.
Well, I got to tell you that as I read about it and as we write about it, as I told you before, I salivate. I hope I'm not revealing too much, but they really capture my attention, even just the descriptions. So congratulations on that. My question, though, is also, how do you find a location? What makes you know if you're going to take over a building that it's the right one for the addition?
It's different in urban markets versus resort. In urban markets, we certainly want to be right in the right place in the city, but we'll find that if you do a great product in a big city, people will come. In a resort, you really need to be in an A location, right? You can't be off the beach. You need to be on the beach and have the right views there. But we also look for who are the partners. They're really going to work with us. Sometimes people have their own vision. They want to execute their own idea. Our brand is not about a brand standards manual that we can hand somebody. It's really the vision that Ian and his team kind of execute. He likes to say it's here and here. And so we need to make sure that we're working with partners that are in it for the right reasons and are going to kind of hand the reins over and let him run with the product and let my team and I run with the operations and the execution and the service delivery.
Because the bottom line is you want that feeling that you got in Tokyo.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, now we're going out to over 75,000 travel advisors. They are looking for product to sell. What do you want them to know?
Well, we've always needed you. We need them now more than ever before. We are a market that we're a brand that does very well and relies on leisure travel. We certainly do some business travel and group business, of course, but we're really focused on doing a great job for leisure travelers. And we have some really unique product that has some unique features, and we're building some really interesting guest room and suite products. We're in different locations. The guests and the travelers get the benefit of an Ian Schrager design and all the things that come along with that, that whole experience, the food and beverage, the bars, nightlife, all those things. But within the Marriott system that comes with Bonvoy program and, great operating expertise and global sales support around the world. So, we're really committed to the travel industry and, committed to making sure that we're easy to work with and that we do a great job for their clients.
And you're also using the Marriott International protocols for health and safety?
Yes. Yeah. For social distancing and masks and, signage and the things that are making people comfortable, cleaning protocols. And
then it doesn't hurt that the locations are great. So after you're done, you may never finish with the hotel, but there's always something to do right outside.
Right. Yeah, that's great. We're really trying to be in interesting destinations where there's a lot to do.
So let's let our travel advisors know, how can they work with you? If they want to learn more, what should they be doing?
Well, we have a team. We have a dedicated team. We call it the Edition Sales Organization, ESOs, that are deployed specifically against travel industry and led by Alex Withers. But we're a small team. There's only 16 of us.
So how can they contact Alex or how should they work?
They can reach us through social media, through LinkedIn, through emailing us or calling our office in New York.
Well, thank you for joining us and good luck with this expansion. We're going to watch it very closely.
Thank you very much. I hope you're watching it up close.
Oh, well, hopefully you and that's the point in the interview where I go, are we going to see each other there? That would be great.
I hope so.
Okay. And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.